I was 34, so it wasn't the first girl I kissed. I was single for a long time, so I'm used to rejection. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and because I think I think it's really good to kind of hear. I know with me personally, I get motivated by hearing people's stories and kind of the things they went through. I think we all know that you're gonna, as you meet different people, everybody's got different struggles and overcome or have overcame different obstacles to get where they're at. I think my uniqueness is that I was a high school wrestling coach for 18 years before I got into Division I wrestling. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and everything, and I've got a little, what I want to do here in the next hour and a half is I'm going to do some wrestling stuff, but then at the end, as you can see, I'm kind of, I have some great girls that have put together kind of a short PowerPoint, because that's one thing I probably get asked to do more than anything. Now that I'm not in the high school coaching game, I get a zillion emails, Coach, how did you do this, how did you do that, how did you do this? So a couple years ago, I'm sure some of you get my videos, whether you want them or not, I kind of downloaded my brain and put it in a program, and a couple marketing students of mine, it's a good idea for you college coaches too, but I hired a couple marketing students for free, and they kind of put it all together and organized it, and then they put it up, and they sent me all the checks when everybody paid with their credit card. So I said, that's a great deal right there. And then what I do is every year I come in and I hire new girls every year, because they get credit for it. They get like 6 hours of aid. They do a good job for me, and I continue to kind of keep the ball rolling. And so every now and then I give them an assignment to do this, to do that, to do this. So if you're a college coach in here, I highly recommend that you go to your marketing department or your business school at your college and take advantage. We do everything from really all I kind of do is have a meeting once a week and bring them all in, and you're in charge of marketing of the match, you're in charge of marketing my emails, delegate a lot off of kind of free business students, and they love it. They love to be a part of the athletic department. I generally pony up and give them like 3 free t-shirts a semester because I'm a big spender, and I get a lot of work out of them, and I kind of help our fan base along. So anyway, I'm going to introduce these 2 gentlemen in just a minute, but my background is grew up in Iowa, in a little bitty small town in northwest Iowa, got an opportunity, and so hence I get asked to speak a lot, and I share my experiences from Grundy and then Christiansburg. So anyway, at Christiansburg, I finished out my 10th year there. We won a state title, and because Christiansburg and Blacksburg are so close together, one day I get a phone call from the athletic director of Virginia Tech 8 miles away, and he said, Tom Brands left. And I want to talk to you about what your thoughts are about the direction of Virginia Tech wrestling. He kind of wanted to hire me. I got the impression he didn't want to hire me. He wanted me to do some consulting for him. And I said, well, whatever you do, I said, we got a good thing going here at Virginia Tech. There's a lot of attention or press, and even if it was bad press, it was still press. When you're not very good, any press is good press. When Coach Brands came to Virginia Tech for the 2 years that he was there, Virginia Tech had never had any. I think they had 4.5 scholarships when Coach Brands got hired. They immediately went to 9.9. I mean, Virginia Tech, when they hired Coach Brands, they were all in. From the budget tripled, the scholarships, went to the max. Virginia Tech was all in. So Coach Brands went back to Iowa, as most of you know, and I came in to consult that day, and by the end of the hour, he offered me the job. And it was really good timing for me, because I feel like I was a high school coach for 18 years. I felt like I kind of done everything I could do. I was really getting kind of tired of the headache and all the parents, and that's one good thing. I remember Coach Buxton told me about 10 years ago, he said, Dresser, your team's pretty good. He said, I see you got a pretty good team. He said, I always gauge my team by the craziness of my parents. He said, if I've got a top 10 team, he said, that means 75% of my parents are certifiable crazy. And that's where we were at Christiansburg. I was really getting tired of all the parents, because they were completely whack jobs. And so I was ready to, it was really good timing for me. And if you knew the situation when I took over Virginia Tech, it was definitely a no-lose situation for me. I get hired. As soon as I get hired the next day, the five best guys at Virginia Tech leave and go with Coach Brands. So I got a chance to really start from ground zero. We got 81st that first year at the NCAA tournament. 81st, and there was 81 teams, and we were really last. When the program came out at the end of the tournament, we were last because we were so strong alphabetically with that V. There was actually 7 teams that had 0 points, but we were last because we were Virginia Tech. We qualified 1 guy, and I tell you this because I get excited about just building programs. Christiansburg was one of the funnest experiences that I've had, and now I'm kind of getting to have that fun all over again at Virginia Tech. We finished 11th last year, qualified 8 guys. We finished 10th this year. We qualified 10 guys. We had 4 All-Americans. So each year, we feel like we're making steps. We got a big challenge ahead of us next year, and of my lineup, 10 guys that went to the NCAA tournament for us last year, 7 are not going to be in the lineup this year. I've only got 3 guys that are going to be back in the lineup. So we got some work to do, but we just signed on paper the number 2 ranked recruiting class in the nation, and that means nothing, as all college coaches in here know. But it's something that we're excited about. So as I go through this, everybody wants to see the dresser dump. All right, that's the big buzzword out there. And there's a deal, though, every time your guy pins somebody a dresser dump, I get a $10 royalty. So I'll give you my address after that. We pinned a lot of Michigan guys with it. Pinned a lot of Michigan guys. We actually pinned 1 Michigan guy.
He went the number 1 class in the country.
That's right, they had the number 1. But they just changed the rules. You can't do that one move anymore. So the top game all went to hell.
We're going to adopt the dresser dump is what we're going to do.
That's right. $10. Each time. So this was I'll just do some front headlock stuff because that's what everybody wants to see. We'll finish with the dresser dump, but front headlock stuff and short offense is what I'm going to go over a little bit today. Then we'll take a short break, and if you want to come back and see my world-class marketing student-generated PowerPoint, I'll be glad to go through some of the things that I did. And at the end, at the break here, if you feel free to ask any questions or come up and correct me on any of my techniques. But Jamal, raise your hand, and Jamel, raise your hand, have volunteered to be my partners here today. These guys are Cardinal Gibbons. I'm only going to need one of them, so you guys won't worry out too much, but I'm only going to need one of you at a time here. These guys look pretty athletic, so I got their phone numbers already. Start the recruiting process right here. From just a real quick story about the dresser dump, and then I'll get going with what we're going to go with. I was one of those, back in the days of the 80s, I was always excited when, wrestling for Gable, we always got first dibs on the World Championship VHS tapes. We always got first dibs in those babies. They always sent them to Gable first. So the World Championships were over, and I think it was Gordon. Gordon was probably the guy back then that went over the World Championships every day and had his video camera set up just like he does now. And then we got the VHS copy of them. And they got real high tech, and they put the same weight class on each one. So I always got the guys that, where I felt like I was going to be kind of weight class wise. And Alexiev got really good at this move, and he was, I don't know, some of you guys that are wrestling experts here, but I know he was a couple-time Olympic champ and a bunch of time world champion. And he hit this move a lot, and so that's kind of really how I learned it. So it was between my sophomore and junior year, I saw him do this hold off a front headlock, and I started moving around with it. And my junior year, I got a few pins with it. My senior year, I pinned like 16 or 17 guys. If Santoro's in here, I pinned him in it. See it? No, he's not here. I make sure every time I go on recruiting trips and he's right in front of me, I always tell him, ask Santoro about that dresser dump. But, and so I got really, really good with it. At the high school level, great hold. At the high school level, when you coach high school, you got to teach a lot more trick hold. College guys don't fall for trick hold. High school cradles, anything where you get your hands locked and get somebody in something, it was we got tons of mileage and tons of pins with it, and I'll show you how we set it up. But that's kind of the story of how I learned that particular hold. Front headlock position, I'll let you sit and you come down here. Front headlock position, let's get him on all fours here first. Okay? Front headlock position, obviously there's 2 ways to get my opponent there. Either I can snap him or force him into this position, or else I can, he takes a bad shot and I end up here in this position. So a couple terminologies that I use, right? A couple terminologies that I use in teaching this. First terminology that I use is I call this double overs. Double overs right here where I'm just controlling right here. Double overs right here. And I always get an angle. So if I'm a right leg lead, I'm a right knee lead here in this front headlock position. If I'm a left leg lead, I'm a left knee lead right here. So however I got here, whether it was off of a snap or whether it was off of him taking, let's say he had a single leg here, right? I bust his lock, he's going to go to his hands if he's in good. He's going to go to his hands, and now I want to control. I want to control. So when I teach, the first thing I always teach is you got to keep them down here for a while to get this hold. You got to get guys kind of tired. In all my success with it, most of my pins and most of my back points came late in matches because guys are a little bit tired here, and they're easier to control. So part of this is kind of breaking. You know, the best guy that does the breaking in front headlocks right now is Brett Metcalf. Brett Metcalf gets you whether it's double overs or whether it's what I call chin and pit. Brett Metcalf does the best job of anybody right now, just making sure you stay accountable down here. He keeps guys down here for a long time. And what ends up happening is why, you know, I think being good in this position is important is because we all have an energy meter when we wrestle. Obviously, my energy meter's not spinning real fast here right now, but his energy meter's spinning a lot faster. If I'm holding down here, whether I'm holding down here chin and pit, double overs, or whether I'm holding him down here chin and pit, he's working here. Right? So that's obviously two important positions. I don't want to get any deeper than chin. Right? And obviously, as I progress coaching, beating Division I guys is really important to make sure you maintain position here. So never ever going deeper than the chin. You know, this is good defense for stopping guys. This is double unders. Obviously, you're never going to beat anybody good in this position. You know, in high school, you can whip guys over and pin them here. In college, nobody's going to get whipped over and pin. Man, Jamel's got some funk here. Knock me over there. Right here. So, double overs and chin and pit. Right, and obviously one of the first things we do is we just in terms of bouncing guys right here. And I think the thing that I emphasize, especially with the good guys, is good guys, when you get in this position, the first thing they're going to do two things. They're going to get on your elbow with that hand, and they're going to step up with that leg. Right there. There's two positions. There's two things they're going to start doing to counter. So obviously I got to be in position, so I got to get this knee back down. So I'm going to spin it this way and cover. So two things happen there. I call this my nub. I'm bouncing him off my nub, and I'm regaining position. Right now, I'm in pretty good position here. I got my elbow up, I'm short arm. I'm in pretty good position here. Right here. I never ever get square. I don't want to give him the opportunity to lunge. I always want to have him out. I want to bounce. I want to bounce. So, as he gets on my elbow, as he steps up, he's starting to get position. His next thing he's going to do is he's going to step all the way up and push that elbow away. He's going to push that elbow away and sucker drag me. Good. Here we go. So as he steps up, one of the first things I'm going to do is I got to take his head way over here, and I got to get this back down. I got to get him off my nub. I got to get him off my nub. And now I got position. Now I can go ahead, backhand, get around the corner. So as I tell my guys, guy's really, really good. You're not going to have a lot of time to do this. He steps up. He's on my elbow. I'm going to spin him 180. I want to get to position here as the match goes on where I can start maybe hitting some trick holds. Maybe I can get some taps. Maybe I can get some dumps. Right? So this is just simply bouncing. Right here. So I'm going to go all the way over this direction and try to pull his head here. At the same time, I want to try to pop him off with my elbow here. Hang on that elbow tough there, big guy. Right, real tough, sir. Come on. He's going to come right here. A lot of times I'm going to drag my chin across too. All I'm trying to do at this point right now is keep him down here. I kind of want to break him a little bit so I can, obviously the really, really good guys, how many matches are won and lost because one guy can't get back here? I can show you, everybody in here knows there's 15 ways to get around here. But actually being able to do that is always the trick. Right? So my philosophy is if you can't get behind there, whatever you do, don't let him go. Keep him down here. Make him accountable. Get that tired meter going. As long as you're staying active, you're not going to get hit for stall, and you're not going to stalemate out of here. You watch Metcalf, he does it better than anybody. He'll go from here, and then he'll lock here, pull him around a little bit, and he'll come back here. As long as you maintain position and you don't give a real, real deep elbow, and you don't let it control anything, it's really, really effective, and eventually you're going to get the points. And I've seen the good guys that do it, they'll hold you down there and bounce you around for 20, for 2.5, 3 minutes till they get that takedown. I always use this analogy with kids. It's like having be really, really good at front headlock position, regardless of how you're going to score. It's like having a gun to his head, right? And I got a gun to his head and say, go, see if he can get out of it. That's how good you got to be. You should be able to shoot somebody in the head here 100 out of 100 times. Same thing's got to happen in front headlock position. You get here, you got to get that good. You got to score from that position right in here. All right. So that's just a simple bounce and spinning around. As far as one thing I see, especially my young guys and high school guys that I emphasize a lot as a high school coach, is making sure that when you do go around the corner, you do a really good job of cheating off your bounce. Cheat to this side off your bounce. Block. And be real firm right here as you go around the corner. So obviously the guy can't raise his hand. Okay? So if he's at my elbow right here, and I always like to do this because this is a tough situation. Not many really good high school guys will step up and do this. Not many high school guys will do this, though. They're a lot easier to score. You can just bounce them a couple times to score. But to beat high-level guys, I really, really got to bounce him. If he stays on my elbow, watch my chin come across to the armpit. Okay? So he's going to stay on my elbow here. All right? As I bounce him, he's not going to come off my elbow. Get my chin all the way over here. So I got this over here. Get my chin right here. Now I can pull it forward. And now I'm just going to come double overs. I'm keeping his head to make sure he can't duck me either way. I don't want him to peek out. I want to keep his head right in here like this. Now it's kind of bulldogging and breaking a little bit. Obviously, all motion's got to be kind of this way. It's got to be this way. This is double overs as well, right here. This position here, I got to stop him. I got to break him a little bit. I got to make sure he can't execute. He can't execute if I keep my elbows tight. He can't execute here. Now all I'm going to do is keep pulling him, and then I'll sneak behind. Just like a gut wrench. Just like a gut wrench underneath. The thing where most guys miss this is they want to here, the guy can get his elbow and peek on me. I'm sliding way down here. Again, watch me just come up. Brett Metcalf is really, really good at this. I mean, he really pulls down, really traps you in here so you can't score. So going back from here to here. Let's say I get a guy that's really, really tough early in the match. Let's say he takes a shot. As soon as I get here to chin and pit, right here, I get to chin and pit right here, he's coming up hard. He's tripod up here hard. Stand up. Right in here. Right? I got it. This is where I got to hold him accountable. I do the guy. He's almost all the way up. This is when I can really get his energy meter going. I got to bounce him down. I'm going to bounce him down. I'm going to go to double overs. I bounce him down, and I come right here. Now, I want him to try to come up now. Now he's going to try to come up. I have to pull him around here so get down here. Then maybe spin by. So teaching kids this isn't exciting stuff. It's short offense, as we know, is really, really important. So again, all I'm doing is holding him accountable, trying to keep us. I always say, try to make it cumulative. So in the third period, all that work becomes a benefit to you because he stands straight up. Your energy meter's not going nearly as fast. And boom, now you can get to his legs really easy because he's tired of getting pulled on. I mean, how many times have you seen, again, I use Brett Metcalf, but when he gets, that's why the new rules are great for him. He's going to wear on guys in front headlock positions. He's going to score a lot of points late in freestyle matches because he's going to get guys standing up. So again, I think all this stuff right here, really, really basic stuff is good at beating good guys. Anybody have any questions just about this position here? There's some kind of up a little bit. It shows some stuff that you could score some back points with. Knee taps, dumps, so forth. Everything we've done up to this point is kind of squeezing, controlling it, breaking it. Now I'm going to start throwing in the trick holds. And trick holds are trick holds. I got to catch them and I got to take the pressure off because right now, we all know if we've ever been caught in front headlock, nobody likes to be in this position. And generally we try to elbow out or drag out or power out of it. We want to just get the heck out of there. And that's when this stuff kind of comes into effect here. So from a double over position, I like this position a lot because he can't score on me here. I can move him around here, and I don't have a lot of pressure on him here. So now if I start going to my trick holds, I weigh 165 pounds. I want to lose 164 pounds of pressure real quick here. I want to go from I just want to come right back here. I'm just going to hang out. I'm almost sideways to him. Okay, so let's say I kind of broke him. I stopped him in here. I stopped him, and you can tell when you got a guy slowed him down. Your hips have slowed him down. Now I'm just coming right back here. Just and all of a sudden, He's thinking, dude, where did this dude go? He just went away. And I slide way back, and I'm getting ready for my angle. This is where the trick comes in here. I'm going to scoot a little bit this way. I slide way back here. Really, the kind of tip of my chin is just kind of waiting for his head to come up. And I want him to completely think he's out. I want him to completely think I left. So I went from 164 pounds, or 65 pounds of pressure to 1 pound of pressure. Right now he tripods up. He comes up, he thinks he's out. He keeps coming up, he keeps thinking. Almost when his hands get ready to leave the mat. All right, when his hands get ready to leave the mat, stay right there, big guy. You're doing great. When his hands get ready to leave the mat, I'm going to go keep one double over. The other double over is going to go here. There, and go till you hit your head. Stop when you hit your head. Stop when you hit your head. You finish in what I call pin arm right here. So the reason that people that first see it doesn't work is because they don't understand the tricking them part. You got to really trick them. You really got to trick them right in here. You kind of back up right here. There he is. See, he thinks he's completely out. I want him to get as tall as possible. I always like to hit it when his hands are almost leaving the mat. I remember watching Alexei wrestle. He kind of just dumb off and let everybody kind of shoot on him a little bit, and then he'd break their grip and he'd kind of just hang in here. And then all of a sudden, the pressure went away, and you could just see him looking at that angle. Right there, I catch it. Don't lock my hands ever. Here, now you keep it until you get your touch. I always say you keep it until you get your touch fall. Back up a little bit. Once you get a hypothetical, obviously we don't have touch falls in freestyle or in folk style. Go ahead and step up. Right? I hit it. I drive at an angle. Until I get right here. I got my touch fall. I release. And the $10 checks start coming in the mail. Right there, Big Farland. Start coming in the mail. Yeah, so a drill that we used to do in high school back in the good old days, when you could partier, they didn't bring you up, was you're trying to get a tech fall for your team to beat Nazareth in a dual meet, right? You kind of bait him a little bit. You do the old thumb thing here, right? Referee blows the whistle, boom, slide on right here to that angle. Take all the weight off, he comes in. Like a lot of things, that's a skill. This is a skill that's hard to develop for a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old. It's hard, but it's like anything. Stuff you learn when you're younger, and you get comfortable with when you're younger, and you have a lot more success, and you got a lot more reps. This is a harder thing for me to teach guys that come into college. When I got guys coming in as 8th and 9th graders, wow, you can really teach this. So if you're a high school coach, this is a really good drill. This is just a dump drill. You're just going to slide out front. If you're a righty, you're going to slide over here. And there he is. You go back. Devin Carter, one of my good guys, is good at this. He'll kind of get guys really tired, and he'll run out front. Tell them some secrets here. Come out front here and try to sneak you. He's got a couple of the tricks too, so watch out. I don't know which one he's going to hit. He's got a couple. So that's the dump, just coming out front right in here. Waiting. Look how far back I am. Barely the tip of my head right here. There's a lot of people out here showing. There's a lot of imitators out here. It's the real McCoy right here. Any questions?
Do you hit that while releasing from the chin as well?
You can do it from the chin, but what happens right here, the chin is the guy starts getting to my elbow. That's a good question. Right? That's what guys get young here. They get. Hey, I lost to a guy in the finals one year. Don't tell nobody in the Midlands. Named Gene Mills. It's the first year I learned this hold. I stayed in the chin and got really antsy. And he started stepping up, and I went like this. And guess what? Gene Mills showed me the soccer drag about 6 times. I still get crank phone calls from all my Irish buddies saying, "This is Gene Mills. I need you to show up at my place. I got this pinning clinic, and you rolled over the easiest." I did. Everybody has one of those matches. That was one of mine, right? I thought I was going to kill that fat guy. Right? Still get shit about that. I didn't even warm up. I'm like, this is Gene Mills. He missed weight, everything, bump up. So that's how I learned. Never ever, good question, Coach. I never went to chin. I always came up here to wait. Right, timing. It's kind of like trying to hit a cradle. You don't try to cradle him right here. If you're a near side cradle guy, you wait for him to kind of start stepping up. Boom. You pop it on. It's got to happen. It's like a headlock. You know, a headlock when a guy's shoulder's very So your head buried in your shoulder. You snap it and wait till it comes up. It's the same concept. It's all trick. So you wait right here. If he happens to get on my elbow, I still want to dump him. What am I going to do? Get my elbow tough there. Jamel. Right? Or Jamal. Which one? I had a 50-50 shot there. You're going to come right here now. I slide back. All right, so I got him off the nub. Boom. Right there. Really good, really good when you get somebody tired. You gotta, I used to, my high school guys said, hey, once you start sensing he's tired, sneak out there and see if you can get one. See if you can sneak out there and get one right there. So, any other dumb questions?
Can you talk about your shoulder, shooting in shoulder position?
Yeah, good. Yep, that's a good question. I wasn't planning on sweating, but hang on. Making sure your shoulder goes underneath is important. So it's a timing thing. Here's how we practice it a lot. We used to practice this and drill a lot. I'd have one guy start like this. All right, go ahead and start like that. And I'd have the other guy start just like this, shoulder under, elbow over. I call this the power position. In high school, you got to name everything. Everything. Right? Okay, guys, we're starting the power position. Right? Right here, so your shoulder's really underneath. Right? And you say you're going live, all right? We're going, well, we're going to go, you're going to go 90%, right? Now how young guys show off in front of everybody, right? When I say go, 1, 2, 3, go. You try. Right there. Power position. So that teaches them to get their shoulder in and get their length. You almost suckered me. Flashback to Gene Mills. Any other questions there? Does that help? All right, now, same thing. A lot of success with tapping. Obviously, this guy's going to dictate a lot what I'm going to do. When guys got good at it, they wouldn't step up. Right? When guys wrestle like Christopher guy, whatever that dude comes out front, you don't dare step up. Right? So if you catch a guy back in his haunches, I'm going to do the exact same concept. And instead of he's staying down here, coach said don't come up. Boom. Knee tap. Okay? So he stops. You just wait to see what happens. Same thing, coach. Shoulder goes way under. This is where guys, shoulder here, this is where guys make a mistake too. They don't look at the difference in reach right here versus reach right here. Now I'm going to grab his wallet. I'm going to grab his wallet right here, and I don't let go of the wallet until he's on his back and I get that touch ball again. Neat, all right? You're taking a whoop. Your brother's watching this, you know? Let's let him feel it, all right? Here. Move. Anything. Again, you wait. Regardless of how you got here, no matter how it's bouncing, you kind of broke him, or whether the guy just kind of shot here and kind of went back in his haunches. Anytime he goes back in his haunches, he's not in his haunches. Now you're going to get welcome to the Gene Mills sucker drag. Again, he's going to sucker drag you through. Right there. So again, he's going to kind of dictate. But everything, I give him the freedom to move around. I give him the freedom because I take the pressure off. If I'm here squeezing, it's not like, I can do this till I break him, but then when I want to score, if I want to score some big points, I got to back off a little bit. I got to back off. Knee tap. Anything else?
You get that knee tap, are you maintaining forward pressure when you're doing that? Or
I'm hanging out again, just waiting to happen. That's what makes it work. Both of them are complete trick holds. I gotta read the situation. Right here. I stay back. Let's say I had a single leg. Got a single leg, right? Do all my square and hip stuff. Boom. Break the lock. Now time.
when you're going, like, when you're going, you've already sunk your shoulder.
Kind of more sideways.
More sideways.
Hold, swipe. Now, when you first start doing this, your guys are they're gonna get excited, and they see that they can't wait to send me that $10, so they're gonna put that thing in there early, and they're all gonna get drugged. That's how you learn. They're gonna get right here. The guys get right here. Right? That happens. They gotta get back out. Keep that position. That's the main thing that I try to coach now because I'm at a higher level. Is hey, if you can't get your hold, whatever you do, don't let him out of jail. Remember, I got that gun to his head. If If I keep a good front headlock position, it's like trying to kill him from this range. But if I let him back up to his feet, harder to kill him. That's the kind of confidence you got to have in this position. And again, it's just reps, it's just technique, it's just position. Right here. Boom. A couple things I do to make sure that I get to that position a lot. Better the competitor, the more he's going to get on that elbow again, the more he's going to tie me up. So if he's on my elbow here, he's playing possum, he stopped him. Right? He wants to stalemate out. I don't want to lose this position. I don't want to stalemate here. I feel like I'm in an advantage position. So what I'm going to do is, he's on that hand tough, got my elbow tough here. We've all seen this here. Obviously, the first thing you got to do is you got to make sure he doesn't score on you. Maybe tip you or barrel roll you here. But I'm going to stop that right here, and I'm going to walk completely away from the pressure. Hang on that elbow tough, bud. Okay? I'm going to walk completely away from the pressure. Is that it? Came completely out, pulled my arm out, right here, held his head down with my free hand, and now I can get around the corner. And that's where, you know, when guys get really good in there, I can tell when they get good in there, is they don't think it's a stalemate now. Again, hang on tough. Hang on tough. Let's keep backing up here.
Can you do that from this angle?
This way, yeah. Yeah, tough. Post the hand. Walk this way. Hold his head down. Get a little height. Come back in. Real important to be able to do that skill right there. Because this is, you know, some guys are going to go right to a stalemate here. And so I'm walking completely away. Watch my head. Put my head right here. Keep walking away from me. Right? If I go the other way, it gets tighter. Boom, he can tip me. I walk away. Got height now. Clearing your elbow there, making sure you clear your elbow. Again, all this whole thing, this whole series, is about either getting to here, or worst case scenario, getting to here. Kind of go back and forth. My mentality is, hey, I got to stay in here until I get my 2 points. So even if he's tripoding up, coming all the way up, right? I don't want to let it go. I want to make him pay for everything. I want this to be cumulative. I want to be able to get the third period. He's so tired because I'm pulling his head. Even if you don't let me around him, when we get to the third period, he like straightens up. Everything kind of happens at that point. Any questions there? Oh, trying to clear this out right here. Other thing you can do here is some guys, it's funny, you teach this high school stuff, you show it to the same 100 kids, 20 kids will get this all the time. Right away, the first time you show it, the other 80 will never get it if you drill it a million times. They're just coming up in here blocking and just shutting them off. There. So again, I'm trying to just make sure that I get to the position where I can score. Get to the position where I can score, all holding down here. So again, I'm coming up. I always block here so I can't get tipped. Okay? Block here so I can't get tipped. I start moving him. My hand goes from his lat to here. I shuck him around real quick. Another thing that Devin Carter does real well there, Jim Heffernan, a teammate of mine in Iowa, did this real well. When guys get on his elbow here too. I learned this from Jim. He'd kind of compress him in here. Same thing, he compress him in here. What's the guy want to do? He wants to push back into you because he's being compressed. He'd come up in here. Pancake. Again, Devin does this pretty well too. So you push back into the guy, and now I'm just going to pull him up. What makes a pancake work is you're stretching him out. You're elongating it. Hard to pancake a guy right here if he's even good. He's too strong. And I pop him here. And watch, I get him completely straight. Completely straight. That's $10 too, Joe.
Old St. Ed's move right there.
Yep. Yeah, Jim Heffernan. Right there. Ooh. Kicking your butt, aren't you, Mel? else from there. All right, that's kind of the struggle to get from here to here is huge. So I really believe, even at the highest level, keeping the guy down here, making him accountable. Or maybe I bounce him around for the whole first period and he's still 0-0. But then the intent is to make that third period a whole lot easier.
Can you show Devin's way he gives feeds the leg? That's the other one I see Will Carter does.
He calls it the Devin Carter bundle.
Yeah, I don't see.
I don't even know if I can do it. I mean, what he does, he comes way across here. He'll let a guy actually get his leg right here. Right? He's got like freaky long arms and fingers that come out to here. And he gets your arm right here, and then he slowly steps over you. He pins. That's his big pin. Technically, he just bundled it up. He just bundled it up here. Bundles it up right here. And actually, the more this guy fights, the harder it is. Right, so he's trying to take me down, He stretches it out. Guy keeps working. He slowly steps over. He's still got, see, I got this arm trapped. You got to send him $10 on that one, right? Yes, sir.
I think I saw maybe one of Iowa, maybe Eric Jurgens show on it. It's probably his Jurgens dresser up, put up under him. On the feet, like the far leg. Everything is same.
I could hit it, hit it. This is, Alexei was really good at hitting it from here. We're just out here wrestling. Get a guy a little tired, dumbing off. I snap the head. See how I circle that angle here? I snap the head right there. Let foot come. So again, we're hand fighting in here. Hand fighting. And I snap the head and I start getting that angle. Here. This is right. Having really good heavy hands when a guy's tired. This was a good hold. I did the Santoro, but he was only a freshman, so you can't brag about it. Just wait. All you're waiting for is that foot to come. We're rushing, don't I? All right, we'll take, if anybody has some questions, we'll take about a 4 or 5 minute break. Then I'll do kind of my